Told you I do this shit for Vegas. About to shut the world down, world
It's your boy
domination.
Jorrell, and you know I got my road dog, my partner in crime, Rocky. What's the deal? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yes.
Yes, we are in the thickets of Las Vegas right now. We just had Champs Trade Show
Yes.
coming through here, so
That was
a
live.
lot of excitement and a lot of things that are happening
As
in
usual.
Vegas, yeah. right?
As usual.
It's Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always popping.
Always popping. But what I did notice, and I wanted to bring up,
What's that?
was when I was at Champs Trade Show, there was a lot of this THCA flower.
Oh,
We're
talk
gonna have
about
to
it.
do a whole we're gonna have to do a whole episode on what I saw at Champs Trade Show and call it "What I Saw at Champs Trade Show."
I feel like that's how it is every year. You go there and it's like everybody's pushing something new, and it's like, where did all this shit come from? Like, y'all wasn't here last year. Like, I feel like last year it was a whole bunch of like enhancement products or stuff like that.
Yes.
And now, like you said, this year you saw these people with the THCA flower.
You said enhancement products.
I swear, like it was a bunch of people pushing honey and different gummy bears, and I'm like, what does this have to do with cannabis? But
Hell yeah.
it's neither here nor there.
Counterculture.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cannabis culture a little bit more. So I'm going to tell you that we have a special guest on the show.
Super special.
Yeah, and I'm immediately, let me just say, I'm a big fan. And so I'm going to start it off that way. Products in Vegas. I haven't had a lot of exciting things happen because people are settling in with their products now, right? And so you've tried some things, but this one came through just not too long ago. It's been on the market for a little bit now in Vegas, but still new to the market. So I'd like to welcome Alyssa Lloyd
Yeah.
from DADirri Extracts.
Yeah, DADirri.
What? And I did say that right? It's DADirri. Everybody wants
You
to
said
say
it right.
Yay.
It's perfect. Did you practice?
No, you know what? That's how I learned it from the beginning. That's
Oh.
yes, cannabis people, they're like, how do you say that? We'll say it like 600 times to
For
each
real.
other, right? Because we never want to say it wrong to the customer. Yeah, it's the lasting impression.
Yeah, you said it right. You got it right. It sounded like you've been practicing it. We try to leave the extract. We try to leave the extracts off.
Yeah.
So we try to just do
DADirri.
DADirri, but you said it perfectly.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So, I am excited for you to be here. The
Thank you
first-
for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the story behind DADirri Extracts. Oh, DADirri. Let me not say I'm not rolling that. Take that out. No, go ahead.
Sure thing. So DADirri started as a solventless brand in Colorado about 7 years ago, and started by a small family, a woman, her brother, and significant other. And they were just trying to figure out a way to get better products onto the market, clean products onto the market that people actually cared about and that weren't being so mass produced, especially in a saturated market like Colorado, right? So my husband and I, we were looking for a franchise, and I'm a foodie. I brought these folks cookies today.
Yeah, you did.
I almost forgot the weed, but I brought cookies.
Listen, she
I'm a
sold me on
foodie.
these cookies. I'm going to tell you, I'm having one of these cookies.
She said they were life changing.
They are life changing. So I was looking for a food franchise, and I think, you know, franchising is very new to the minority space overall, especially in the Black space. But we're just looking for ways to build legacy, family legacies, right? I have 2 young children, and just looking for ways to expand. So we were looking into the franchise space, and of course, looking at food. I looked at Nothing Bundt Cakes.
Yeah.
I looked at, I think, at Capriati's, and we ended up hiring a franchise consultant, which is free to do, to hire a franchise consultant.
It's free game.
Yeah, oh, for sure, for everybody.
Oh, shit. Don't tell me.
That's right.
The franchise. I
Franchise the hell out of something, huh? We hired the franchise consultant, and he does like a whole analysis about like your personality type, if you're with a significant other, their personality type, your interests, things of that nature. So we did it, and he paired us with a beauty salon suites. Have you guys seen those?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so he paired us with a beauty salon suites. He paired us with a gym, and I'm like, my personality gave gym. Okay, cool. Like, no, I'm happy. I'm happy that I gave that. So a gym. the beauty salon suites, and then he completely nixed nothing but cakes. He was like, "You're not gonna make any money. You're gonna be paying yourself to have a job." And I was like, "Okay, well, I feel it, but I do like cake though. Just so we're clear, I hope that's shown through on the personality assessment." So anyway, needless to say, he pairs you with 3. None of the 3. One of them was really rude to me. That was the beauty salon suites, and I was just like, "Oh, that's a no-go." The gym, it didn't call me, and so I just told him like, "Hey, like none of these work." So then he said, "How do you feel about cannabis?" And I was like, "I mean, I feel great about cannabis. How do you feel about cannabis?"
You trying to roll up or something?
And he's like, "Why are you asking me that? Because you don't think about cannabis and franchising, right?" So so I was like, I feel great about cannabis. Cannabis has been around my entire life. My grandmother has smoked weed since before I was born, I'm sure, but definitely since I was born, right? And I was like, I hate the stigma that comes with it, but I do like the changes that I'm seeing, in the industry. And also, I wish that there were an easier way for access for everybody, right?
Yes.
And that it seemed more accessible both for the consumer and from the business side. It didn't seem like you needed millions of dollars to access it because that's what you see. So he said, "Well, I have a surprise for you. I would introduce you to somebody." And then he introduced me to the folks at DADirri. This was probably about 3 years ago because I really took my time making this decision. But I went and met with these folks, and I just loved everything about them. I loved the family culture. I loved everybody was so happy working in that space. And they were just super kind and super down to earth and chill and just super knowledgeable and really personable. And I loved everything about them. And then, we spoke numbers, and I was just like, I don't believe it, which I should have stuck with that. Don't believe it because the cannabis industry is crazy. Like,
It's a roller coaster.
yeah. So then I took a year and didn't, contact them again. Then I visited them again after that year period, and the same people were working there. And they were still as happy to be in that space. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I love what they're doing with the company culture here. I love, the changes that they're trying to make. I love that they're small, which means that they can be quickly innovative. It doesn't have to run up some crazy chain. Yeah. And also ranchising in the brand space is pretty unheard of.
Yeah. Absolutely. In the cannabis industry.
Yep.
Yeah. So we are their first franchisees, and that's a huge risk already. But right. I kind of liked the fact that we would get the most attention because I needed that hand holding.
Yeah.
You went for the best right away, like right out the gate. Yeah. You're like, let me just do the best.
Big gambler, huh?
Yes.
Did you know how good the product was before you joined the team?
Yes. So let me just say this. I am not a consumer in the way that you think of a consumer. I'm like a social consumer. So I really consume like on vacation and, things like that. So I consumed, of course, while we were there. And my husband was like, she can never smoke again. Yeah. And I was like, is it that strong or do I just like not smoke, And he was like, you're fucked up. Like, he's like, how many hits did you take? And I still had I had a biddy. So that's the half gram. Right. I had a biddy and I was not even halfway down the biddy. And I was like, should I be embarrassed?
It happened to me with the same thing with that biddy. I opened it up, and there was a little joint in there, and I said, psst. I did this. No bullshit like this. Psst. And then I smoked that shit. And I was like, oh, okay.
Nah.
This shit is hitting lovely. Yeah, I think, as a matter of fact, I was at Nubu, and I ended up picking up more of your...
As you should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you must have been there for a special event because we're not there permanently, but we were there for the 420 event.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was there for that event. It was really great.
Perfect.
Yes.
I love that.
Did you have any hesitations going into the cannabis industry?
Absolutely.
What was your biggest one?
I think the fact that I really didn't know much about cannabis scientifically and also from the business side. Yeah. That, and I like to know, what I'm doing. But now I'm so well learned I can't believe that I was scared at that time. But I was scared of what the learning curve would look like. I was scared of, and low key, I still am, of, you know, some of these big brands that we compete with that have, you know, millions in marketing dollars that we just, you know, don't have. So it's harder to build brand awareness. And also just in the franchising space, being the first franchisee, especially for a cannabis company, all of those things were hesitations.
Well, the marketing was smart. It's clean marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys put it in the right packaging.
The packaging is good.
It's, you know, and it's not that it's super off the wall, like this is like, oh my God. It's just you did the right thing with like the logo and everything is so super clean. I was like, oh my gosh, I would purchase this if I saw it. On the marketing aspect, because that's the kind of person that I am, I'm like, oh my God, they put so much money into marketing, you could tell. But it's just a really great brand and kind of backed by its marketing. It really does a thing. Did you experience any challenges here in Vegas when you first started this out? Did you have any major challenges that came your way?
You know what? I want to say that I'm really happy that that was your experience of the product, because that's our goal, to have really clean and classy, clean and classy look. Because we want it to feel accessible to everyday people.
Yeah.
Your soccer moms, your corporate, you know, your corporate folks. We want it to feel accessible to them and not something super loud or like they had to be part of like a hype brand or like a trend, right? We want it to feel like it can fit into your everyday life.
Right.
So I'm super happy that that was your experience of it without somebody telling you that.
Yeah.
But I think that we still face challenges, and I think what it is that there are really large brands here that are not local, right?
Yeah.
Like they usually come from California.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be. They come from California usually,
talking
and we compete with them. We
Right.
compete with them, you know, and they have so much, you know, marketing dollars. And the thing is, they have such a huge following. They have such a huge loyalty base that the consumer really doesn't care what the hell they put in the product, honestly, because they just know the brand. They feel like they have a connection to the brand.
trust.
Right.
Exactly. And so it's really hard as a small family-owned company that doesn't have, you know, those huge pockets to compete in that space and be able to, I don't want to say steal any market share of, you know, from those products, because they've built this loyalty for so long, and often people knew them before they even entered the state. You know, they knew them from California already, or they knew them as one of the first to be in the state. So they've just followed them all this time, and they're kind of nervous to try something new, you know?
Right.
And also, I mean, our pricing can be a little off-putting. It's a premium product. Pricing just lowered though, so it lowers on the consumer side as well. But it can be a little off-putting.
Because you're in Vegas, right?
Yes, you're here to spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like even though there are more established brands out here, there's a good core of people that's looking for something new.
Yes.
So I think like the DADirri, they can definitely fill that void because it's really, really good product.
Yeah.
The packaging is clean and classy, a good backstory. So I think there's definitely room for you guys to grow and like fill that void for the people that's looking for something new.
I think what's missing for us is if we could have time with bud tenders, which we just don't have. You know, if we could, sure, we do bud tender educations, but how many bud tender educations do bud tenders sit through where they have to learn so many different products? But if we were able to, you know, spend time actually going through the quality of the product and have some way for bud tenders to kind of retain that information and to be able to recall it, to know who to sell it to, you know, that would be huge for us.
Yes.
In a perfect world, how would you do that? And like in what kind of setting?
A fun setting. I like people to have fun. I feel like I'm a fun person. So I love like relaxed things, like somewhere where you don't feel like you're being forced to learn something.
Got you.
You know, I do feel like you retain the information better when you're, if I can attach this to an experience that I had and the way that I felt when I was there, I retain that information better.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So and that's with any knowledge in life. So it has to be the same case, you know, for this.
Yep. And this is a Colorado product, right? This came from Colorado. So you expect that. For me, if a product's coming from Colorado and it's rosin, I'm used to like the best, like Laser Cat and shit like that. So I don't feel like people should have to compromise price for product quality, right? And I feel like there has to be a market for that. We set the standard on that situation, and that's the problem with that, is that it's not the consumer setting the standard, because the consumer will spend more money. We know that. You go to a Vegas show and you're spending $40 for a drink. No bullshit, right? So, I mean, this should be like a walk in the park for you. You know, picking up a $20 infused pre-roll is going to last you much longer than that drink that you just spent, you know, a good sum of money on.
Yeah.
So for me, like, this is the kind of product that I look for when I'm like, hey, I'm taking long drives. I've got, you know, a lot of work that I have to get done on the weekends, believe it or not. I love your rosin products. They're really, really good. And I'm going to tell you one of my first engagements with this situation was, you guys were the first that I had seen that had like a bubble hash on the market. And I was like, yes, thank goodness, you know, because I am an infused joint pre-roller. That's what I do. I always add something, and I know it's messed up my whole entire fucking system and shit, but my tolerance is crazy. But I use your bubble hash all the time because, first of all, you get a lot of it. You have a whole gram of the bubble hash there, and then you don't have to use a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it's much better for me. Like, I buy Keef, same difference, right? A half gram, about $20 maybe, right? So for me, that's like the thing. But what was funny about that is that so many people that I knew had gotten introduced to that for the first time. Like, you had put your product out in the industry. A lot of people were talking about it. And one of the people I knew was like, hey, yeah, no, I tried to dab it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I won't do that.
Yeah. Well, because it's a broad spectrum hash,
Yeah.
you know? I think people are used to, when they hear hash and they're not that familiar with different types of bubble hash, they instantly think it's a full melt. So they think it's a dabbable concentrate. And it's just like, no, that's not the best experience for it. The best experience for it is for you to take even some mid and top it with some bubble hash and turn it into a premium experience. You know, it's going to keep you high longer. You're going to have that full entourage effects, no headache on the come down, you know, like, and you're going to be high for a minute, you know?
Throw that shit and some GLP in your set.
Oh, man.
my God.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Welcome to this world. It's wonderful, wonderful things happening there.
Was it hard finding like good cultivators to team up with to produce the products?
Yes, it's still a little hard. So we, it's our team producing the product. So we buy bulk material. So we buy raw material in bulk, and our team produces. We just don't care to share our SOPs with anybody.
Right.
We don't care to, you know, have another team making it for us, because then it won't be the same quality and care that we put it. Love goes into every single package of DADirri that you see. We have a very small team, and they're very proud of what they do. So, you know, there's a lot of care in every single package. And so finding cultivators, though, that was rough. I think, first of all, what we're looking for is just not easily found in Nevada.
Yeah.
We can just start there. You know, the sunrock material, that flower, A-bud flower, full flower, it has to be a very certain structure in order for it to hold on to the concentrate. So not everybody grows that kind of flower. Usually that's a sativa strain, because a sativa strain grows really tight, right? You can't really get sativa in Nevada. It's, for some reason, growers don't grow it. They say it doesn't yield, you know, well. They say they don't have the right environment for it. So, you know, we're looking for specific A-buds. We hand select every single strain of A-buds that we use for sunrocks. So there is not a single sunrock out there that hasn't been handpicked by our team in person.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So that, you know, we're super proud of that. But otherwise, you know, even to like make hash, trim here is really
You love it.
dirty.
I felt like you was being nice when you said that.
I was.
So that is still a struggle to this day to find trim that is clean enough for us to wash because we don't use any solvents, right?
Yeah.
So we have no way of getting rid of any microbials that might come out in the product, even if it's a little bit. Once we concentrate it down to bubble hash, it is expounded exponentially, right?
Yes.
So that trim has to be super clean. And it brings me to another thing that I think we're dealing with very heavily here in the Nevada market right now, and I think it's just a lack of education, which is machines such as a rad source.
Yeah.
People are really nervous about rad source because they only think about it in one way.
Yeah.
They only think about it as remediation, and they're thinking of dirty product that gets remediated. They don't think about product that gets pre-treated that is never dirty, right? But so let's say, for example, there's some trim that is trying to be sold to us, and it has a level of, let's say, 400 CFUs. So if you guys are familiar with COAs, but the audience, a CFU is a colony forming unit for a micro. So let's say the standard for flour or the passing or the failure rate for flour is 10,000 CFUs. I'm not going to buy that because once I wash it and turn it to a concentrate, the fail rate is 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that, somebody's trying to sell me some trim. It has 400 CFUs. It could easily go to anybody. It's going to end up in anybody's pre-roll.
Yeah.
Because the fail is 10,000
Yeah.
as flour. Once I concentrate it down, it's going to be at 1,000.
Yeah.
So it's going to fail. I need that material to be pre-treated so that it doesn't do anything to a concentrate. So as the consumer, you're consuming the same material, but you don't understand that because you only see remediation on one side.
So, I know everybody sees this that is watching, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what does this product actually look like?" So I think that we should actually show people some of these products.
We should.
Yes, and so they have an idea of what they're looking at. And then, of course, we'll have some studio edits, too, in there by our lovely folks that are helping us here. But what do you got here? Let's talk about what you got.
Sure thing. So I'll start with the number one thing because we are the only brand on the market with bubble hash.
Let it be known.
And we're known for that. So this is the bubble hash. It's going to come in a 1 gram jar. And it usually stays cold. Some people like to consume it warm, let it grease up a little bit. I don't know where we go.
There we go.
Oh, you're doing
Okay, there we go.
Good.
And so this is what it's going to look like. You can take a little bit, use it as a joint topper, a bowl topper, a pipe topper. Oh, shit, this smells good.
Look at what she's doing to the general audience here. Oh, yeah. You're
You said, "Oh, yeah.
Throw
Oh,
that
yeah."
in some math. You have something great.
And then we've got the caviar sunrock.
Okay.
Caviar sunrock is going to be top shelf flour, lightly coated, not soaked like a moon rock, lightly coated with distillate, and then double truffled with bubble hash.
Nice.
So, you can break this down like you would a joint. You can smoke it out of a bowl or a pipe, however you would your normal flour. Yeah.
And that's the biggest difference between moon rocks and sun rocks that I like. It's not super like coated in that distillate.
It's not a
where
tar
can't
ball.
even
You can
grab
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a tar ball.
See that in there.
Oh, I didn't show it. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
There
there
it
we go.
is.
There's a sunrock.
Nice and
Where
coated.
am I? Oh, she's moving. This camera. There we go. And so we've got a beautiful sunrock in there.
Ooh, people are gonna love that, and that's another kind of unique item in the
Yes.
Nevada market.
Yes. We were the only ones with something even like it. We've been in the market for just over a year now. When we entered the market, we were the only ones with something even like it. Presidential just came out with their Moon Rock, so that is our biggest competitor in the space now. There was another brand that dropped a Moon Rock. They were here for about 2 months. Yeah. And I hear that there used to be another caviar brand here.
Yep, we will not talk
A while
about
ago.
that.
Yeah.
We already know what happened to that.
So this is our caviar bitty cone. Caviar bitty cone is going to be It's going to be a caviar sunrock ground into a pre-roll. That's it. No other difference. It's just ground, that same exact material ground into a pre-roll. And I hear that some people struggle opening our pre-roll tubes.
Let them know how to do it.
So there's an arrow right here that it says push in the back, and there's an arrow at the top, and all you do is push the back and then flip open the little lip. And then you get it out. And we've got some cute little instructions in here.
That is so adorable, too. Let me tell you, folks. I love that.
So it always has a quote. This one says, "You haven't even met all the people who are going to love you yet."
Oh, man.
Oh, I love that.
That's a good one.
And when you're high, that shit's lasting
It's going to hit
hours.
you deep.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it's going to hit
God.
you deep.
You're going to have the best conversations here.
And then it just has your instructions. Give the pre-roll a good low massage because you want to do that with any infused pre-roll already, right? And then inhale slowly and gently when lighting, and then, have a great experience. Enjoy it consciously because we put a lot of love into that. And then this is our bubble cone, completely solventless.
Nice.
Only flour and bubble hash in here. And we use a 3-to-1 flour to hash ratio. And so this one is for all those who just love something super, super simple and clean. This comes in a 0.5 gram and a 1 gram. Same thing. You're going to get the same little love on a little card in this tube that I can't get out right now. But this is your 1 grammer and the bubble cone. And then the only thing that we don't have here on the table is our solventless caviar biddy, which is going to be bubble hash, flour, and rosin.
Nice.
Not live rosin. It's dry rosin, or what we consider trim rosin, but that is in the cone, and it only comes in a 0.5 gram for obvious reasons, Rocky.
We learn. Listen, we learn.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be also dropping some live rosin soon. So,
Look out for that.
look out for that.
On the rise.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited about all these products, and now the explanation makes complete sense. And, folks, I just hope that you guys realize that quality products, they cost money because you have the best. You want the best. She mentioned A-buds, right? And really good quality. And that's really what you want when you're smoking.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you're in Vegas, there's nothing better to me. I'm going to spend that money anyway. It's the first thing I do. When I get off a plane, I'm like, where's the weed at? And so I know that if I was ever to be, if you guys are out there and you're listening, and listeners out there, bud tenders out there, when you're coming into Vegas for some fun, please check out the DADirri products. You guys will not be disappointed because we love quality. Bud tenders will spend the money on some good quality cannabis. So look at these items. Let me tell you, it's a really easy, simple situation. You know what I used to do with this stuff like this here? Like when you had the bubble hash, this is the Sunrock, but when you had here's the bubble hash. You can do that at home. I would always do this as a second. Hey, by the way, I'm going to send you this caviar so you guys have something for your smoke today. And then this is what was inside of that. So if you guys ever want to buy some flour and bring that to the table with this bubble hash, you will have a great time. And probably save money, too, on the back end of that with a nice eighth and some bubble hash.
Because you don't always have to get the best flour.
That's
if you got
it.
the bubble
Exactly.
hash
If
right
you
on
have the
top.
bubble hash and you have it just sitting there, it lasts for a long time.
Absolutely.
I would like to say DADirri does have a meaning. It's an Aboriginal word, and it means an inner deep listening, especially, and in tuning, especially connecting oneself with nature. So, it flows with the packaging as well.
Hell yeah.
You just made me an even bigger fan.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we appreciate you hopping on. You fucking killed it. First
Aw,
podcast
thank
in
you.
the book.
First podcast.
I'm so
Podcast cherry popped. We need like the little nightclub sounds.
We appreciate you. But before we get you up out of here, we have to know, we know you're a social smoker. So when you're out and about having fun, what's your go-to? What are you smoking on?
It's definitely going to be a pre-roll, and it's going to be a 0.5 grammer because I don't want to share it, and I already know I can't finish the 0.5 gram. So it's definitely going to be a pre-roll because I just don't like to work, and I'm probably going to go for the bubble. We don't have a bubble 0.5 grammer up here, but I'm going to go for the bubble cone just because the distillate takes it up another level in the caviar cone, and I can't handle it. I've done it, and I know what it's like. So I stick right over here. Right over here.
Nice.
Keep it simple.
What you been smoking on, Rocky?
So I got my hands on a few things, but Medicine had a strain out called Daily Grapes.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Tasty.
Shit.
Yeah.
Good job, Chris Ryan. You killed that shit. Wonderful, wonderful flower. How about you?
Medicine.
Get out of here.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I got hooked up. I had Daily Grape. Then they have a new one.
Hawaiians.
I think it's like Blue Hawaiian or something like that. Then there's another one like Crimerica or something like that. Yeah, Medicine been killing it. They got a lot of new stuff coming out.
We work with Medicine for our Sun Rocks too. We use some of their their raw
that makes
material.
sense.
Okay.
It makes sense.
because,
Yeah, so
It's
we're gonna have to
smart.
check out that Daily Grapes then.
Yeah,
my
check it out.
goodness.
It's a real good. It's a nice sativa dominant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we'll definitely have to put a call in to Chad and Chris.
Excellent. So if any of the bud tenders out there want to know about your products, get a little bit more knowledge, what's the best way to find out?
Definitely Instagram. So at DADirri.extracts, and you have to type the whole thing in because we're a shadow band. You know, Instagram don't mess with cannabis like that. So DADirri.extracts. Yeah, that's the best way to keep up with us.
Excellent, folks. So you know where to find it now. Come to Vegas, try it out. Listen, don't take my word for it. Come on over to Vegas and try it yourself.
Amen.
And when you do that, send us a message on Instagram because it's going to be one big ol' I told you so from The Rock. But I wanted to tell you folks that we appreciate you so much for listening. You can always find us at www.highbudtenders.com. /podcast to listen to this here podcast, /shop to pick up some really great merchandise items and some other great things. We want to thank you folks for listening. As always, stay high, bartender.
I do this shit for Vegas. About to shut the world down. World domination. World ain't ready for the town. We are